Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, travel professionals, and welcome to today's training session. I am Doug Cook, publisher of Jack's Facts Travel Marketing, and I will be your moderator. Today, we will once again be exploring all that the region of Alentejo in Portugal has to offer your clients, with a focus on outdoor activities. However, before that, we are going to have an update on travel to Portugal from Selena Tavares, who's the Director of Tourism for Portugal in New York. After Selena's presentation, we will hear from Antonio Lacerda, who's the General Manager, right there, who's the General Manager of Visit Alentejo. A couple housekeeping items. There will be time for questions and answers after the presentations, so do please send us your questions in the space provided. And also, today's webinar is being recorded, and we will send you a copy of that, so no need to take copious notes. And with that said, let me turn things over to Selena.
Thank you so much, Doug, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Welcome to our webinar about outdoors and the Alentejo and what the Alentejo has to offer. Thank you also, Antonio, for the kind invitation to us to do just a quick Portugal update about the restrictions and what's happening in the destination. And then, you know, after the boring part of the restriction side of things, we will jump into the lovely Alentejo to learn more about outdoors activities in the destination. So just to start off with now update you just also on the country itself. So as you know, Portugal, and I believe the majority of you are already aware, Portugal is a small country. You know, we're roughly the size of Spain, so it's very easy to travel around the country. You know, from north to south, or from Porto to Lisbon, for example, it's a 3-hour drive. From Lisbon then to the southern part of the country to Faro is a 2-hour and 40-minute drive. And then we also have, you know, for example, even to visit the islands of Madeira and the Azores, you can always also take a domestic flight. To get to Azores, it's a 2-hour and 25-minute from both Porto and Lisbon airports. And then to Madeira, it's a 2-hour and 5-minute flight to Porto and 1 hour and 25 minutes from Lisbon to Madeira. And then also, you know, it's a perfect destination for fly and drive. It's very easy to travel around, as you can see here on the map of Portugal. We have the second best road system in Europe, so it's perfect for, you know, a multi-touring or a multi-destination trip to Portugal. And it's also very easy to travel and to visit using the national railway system, either a high-speed train, which we call the Alpha Pendular train, or just the normal trains. It's very easy to travel also using the railway system. As you can see here on the map in green, that's the map of the railway system in Portugal. It's very easy to book also. You just have to visit the CP website or the Alpha Pendular website that you can find here on the PowerPoint, which we will send to you, as Doug mentioned. And now let's move on to the current airlift from the US to Portugal. So at the moment, with American Airlines, that we had flying Philadelphia to Lisbon since 2017, but the flight unfortunately is suspended since last year. American does hope to resume and restart the flight in 2022, during the summer of 2022. And then we also have Azores Airlines flying directly from Boston to Ponta Delgada in the Azores, and from Boston to Terceiro also, and that's already operating. With Delta, Delta will resume the New York JFK to Lisbon flight on August 1st with daily service. And with United, the New York-Lisbon flight has already resumed with daily flights. And then the Washington Dulles Lisbon, United also hopes to restart this service now in 2021, but they're waiting to see how the restart of New York Lisbon also happens, and what the demand is looking like here from the US to Portugal. And then the Newark Porto, because it was a seasonal flight, they will restart only in 2022. And then with TAP Air Portugal, as you can see here, we have a couple of more gateways also from Canada here listed, but most of the gateways that TAP has from the US to Portugal are already operating, like Lisbon, Newark, Lisbon, Boston, Lisbon, Washington Dulles, Lisbon, Miami, Lisbon, Chicago, Lisbon, San Francisco, and then also Porto, Newark. So these gateways are all operating. From the gateways that TAP has, the only one that has not restarted yet is JFK Lisbon, which they hope to restart also in November this year. And now just a quick update on the vaccination in Portugal also. So Portugal has roughly a population of 10.3, between 10.3 to 10.5 million inhabitants. So at the moment, we have 40% of the population vaccinated, fully vaccinated, but we are, our vaccination rate is going very well. So we do hope that by mid-September, late September this year, we will get to 80% of the adults, 85% of the adult population being fully vaccinated. As for the entry procedures to enter Portugal, I'm sure most of you also know, so Portugal has been open to the US since June 15th. We currently, to open mainland Portugal, you do have to perform either or present a negative test result, either a PCR that has to be performed within 72 hours before boarding, or an antigen or rapid test that has to be performed 48 hours prior to boarding. Also, there's an exception for children under 12 years old. And passengers also need to complete the passenger locator card online 48 hours before traveling. There are different procedures or restrictions to enter Azores and Madeira, but because from the US, most of the travelers will travel through Lisbon or do a stopover in Lisbon or Porto to travel to the islands. The same would apply. So either do a PCR or a rapid test. But I just wanted to share also that if they're traveling directly, for example, which is possible for Azores, there are different restrictions that apply because the islands are autonomous regions from the central government. So they are also able to implement their own restrictions to their specific areas. And then I'm positive you also know this, but just to reinforce that, then returning to the US, passengers will also need to present a negative test result before boarding, and also to fill in the disclosure and attestation to the United States of America, which is essentially a document saying that you do not have COVID before entering the US. And as for the movement restrictions, at the moment there are no movement restrictions within Portugal or between Portugal and Spain or other countries in Europe. But I know it's we always get the question between of the border between Portugal and Spain. And just to let you know, the borders are open. They have been open since May 1st. So there is no movement restrictions at all. If you're cruising to Portugal, the same rules apply. You have to either present a negative PCR test or a negative rapid test. So as far as the current COVID-19 protocol, so most businesses in Portugal, like 99% of the tourism activities and restaurants and hotels, monuments, attractions, are open at the moment. Of course, each company, as they are private companies, they're taking their own time. We had a lot of companies also in Portugal that kind of use this time of having to be closed because of lockdowns, etc., to also revamp their infrastructure, etc. So a lot of them are reopening also at their own times. But at the moment, we're already in July. 99% of the tourism business businesses are fully open and operating. The one thing that I would mention, because it's not mandatory here in the US, is mask or face mask usage in Portugal is mandatory. So please make sure to also advise your clients about this rule, because there are fines that are applied in case people are not using their facial masks. And then we also have some advice for travelers. Essentially, I just wanted to share some information with you also in case, your travelers have COVID-19 symptoms, what to do. So you should call the Portuguese authorities. And I think also, we always suggest to notify the US Embassy in Portugal. Also, just so you know, under, pardon me, under Portuguese law, everyone, either a foreign citizen or a local, everyone has access to the National Healthcare Service. So if your clients have any trouble in Portugal, or if they're or if they're in contact with someone that has had COVID, or if they have COVID and they need to go to the hospital or be assisted by, or have medical assistance, they're fully covered by our National Healthcare Service. Also, if you need to test before arrival, there's a couple of options. Testing is available at hospitals, pharmacies. We have a list of where to test and locations where to test in Portugal, which is also here on this PowerPoint, and we'll share that with you. Also, a lot of you that work with, for example, incoming agents or even hotels at the moment, they will also recommend, if they're not already working or have a specific contract with a local COVID-19 laboratory or a testing site, they'll be able to recommend that for you also. And then the other thing I would recommend is to book in advance, because there's still limited capacity at restaurants and tourism activities. So, just make sure that when your clients go, they have everything organized pre-trip, so that they're able to enjoy Portugal at its fullest. As for the destination itself, I want just to make a quick introduction before we jump into the amazing area of Alentejo. So Portugal, is a country with 900 years of history. It's one of the oldest countries in Europe also. We have a huge historical link to the sea also. We're a coastal country, and not to mention the islands of Azores and Madeira. We have, a huge number of World Heritage sites and other statues in Portugal also, a national network of 146 museums. And we also have 528 miles of coastline and sandy beaches and sunshine for 250 days a year. So even if your clients are looking for more of like a cultural destination, you can always combine it with a 1-2 days of relaxing and enjoying some sunshine in the lovely area of Alentejo, for example, that has one of the biggest coastlines in Portugal and amazing protected beaches, very different along the coastline also. And then I say that Portugal's biggest asset is definitely its people. I think the Portuguese people are the biggest asset that Portugal has as a tourist destination. So that is always an added value to your trip. We are a very, very welcoming, friendly, and safe country. And then, of course, also we cannot miss the different varieties of wines from north to south, and gastronomy also. And Alentejo is so rich and has such a different gastronomy also, even though it's one region only. But I mean, very different on the coastal areas, very different on the inland areas, and even along the region itself. So I think I'm going to leave it to Antonio now to bring you to Alentejo and to show you how amazing the Alentejo area is and what our opportunities are there for your clients also.
Thank you, Selena. And we are going to start to speak a little bit about Alentejo, my region. And basically some facts that Selena has already shared with you. We are a small country and we are a small region in a small country. So we are roughly 13,000 miles and just that. Very low density. We are just 700 inhabitants. It means that we have less than 10 inhabitants by square mile. We have a very good weather. The summer is something between 75 and 95 degrees. It's good. It's not humid. It's really dry, and the winters are very relatively mild and wet, and we have light, lots of light, an average of 300 days with sun each year. Without our problem is that we don't have rain enough, and let's hear a little bit of our region. And I ask Doug to change the slide if you don't mind. You can move. We have already shared the distance. Selena's shared with all of you. You know already that we are a small region. Everything is close to Lisbon, and when you arrive to Lisbon, 1 hour later, you can be in the middle of Alentejo. 1 hour and 15 minutes. You go in by train, going by car, by bus. It's quite near. And
I'm sorry, Antonia, I'm sorry to interrupt. Let me just restart this. It seems to be jumping
okay,
around. Let me just restart
yes.
this presentation.
You can go directly to the cycling slide, if you don't mind.
Nope, no problem at all. Hopefully. Oh, I don't know what is happening here. It's jumping around. All right, let me see. So the slide you'd like to go to is this slide or the following one?
The following one.
Okay,
With the guys cycling.
okay. Bear with me 1 moment here. I'm just going to restart this presentation. Okay, let's hope we have better luck here. Oh, there we go.
Okay. We have several ways to discover Alentejo. One is going by bicycle, find your own way in the middle of the cork tree forest and discover it by yourself. Or if you wish, you can choose horse riding. Please, Doug, change for the next slide, and you will see that it's possible to have different ways to discover the region. But in this moment, I would love to share the stage with Pedro Rocha from We Live, Love, Ride to speak with you directly about our cycle tours. This is a particular kind of programs that I believe that your clients will love to do it. And don't worry, there is no sound now. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you for sharing these moments with us. And we are still talking about outdoor activities. Uh, I was saying that it's possible to visit the place in or doing horse riding, but also you can walk. And I ask Doug to change the slide to show you some pictures about this picture about walking tours. You saw the bicycles nearby the sea, and now you see people walking. We have several paths that is full marked, and you can go by yourself and you can walk. It's fantastic. It's really amazing. And about the seaside, I now I would love to invite Monica McGill to share the floor with me to speak about you with you about our seaside, our the activities that are possible in our seaside. And please pay attention to Monica McGill. Don't worry, there is no sound in this image, but just a few seconds. Doug, I believe that is stopped. Uh, So I don't know if you are able to see well the small movie with Monica McGill, because from my side it was not really complete. But anyway, I hope that everybody has see it. And let me speak about the things that are also possible to do inside our region, not only in the coastal area, but inland. And I ask you like to change the slide again, if you don't mind. And this is Alentejo on the inside. You can have a picnic nearby a town, a small village, wherever you want. And this is our spring, covered with flowers, and you can go there and try to taste the local products, the local bread, the local cheese, the orange juice made of the orange that you pick up just in the hour. And but you can do more things. You can lie down, or you please change the slide. You can do things more active, like surf. Yes, it's the same Atlantic Ocean that you have from your side. This is our side, and we have fantastic spots to do surf. Even if you are a starter, if you are a beginner, you can come, and we have the right spot to start. And if you are a very good surfer, we have so big waves that you can try to surf it. And some other things that you can do, and Doug, please change the slide again. It's to do rafting, for example, in a small river inside Alentejo. You can do rafting, you can cross the river walking, you can do so many things, and it's at the same time you can sleep in a glamping. Or if you going back to the ocean, please, Doug, change the slide again. You can see the dolphins. They live all year around there in the Sado estuary. They are always there. You can see every day. You can see the dolphins. It's a single family with 27 dolphins that never leave the estuary. They go out just to feed themselves, and after they came back to the estuary and they stay there. Or you can see the region from a balloon. And please, Dave, change the slide again. You can see the region as it's rolling hills, and you are on a balloon, and you can see all things around. You can see the vineyards, you can see the cork tree forest, you can see everything. And during the night, and please change again the slide if you don't mind, we have the really dark sky, a very a sky that is with lots of contrast. As we have no light pollution, we don't have, we have a clear sky, as I have said, more than 300 days a year. It's always possible to see the sky like that. And you don't need any kind of special equipment to see that. If you have some, if you pretend to, or if you wish to see it better, you can. You have some companies that provide you the right equipment to see more deep inside the sky. If you wish, we are able to provide you that kind of things. And also, and please change again, we can teach how the local culture, how the clay are made. You can put your hands on the job and you can make your own pieces. You can do it with this man or with some other man, trying to learn how to do clay figures, clay pots, everything. And we have some cultural manifestations, and please change again the slide. You can have cooking lessons, for example. This is 3 kids having cooking lessons, but we can do the same with adults. And particularly in some hotels, we have this kind of service. It's a very immersive experience to feel how we made the things and how tasty they are. You can learn how to the way we cook, and the way we eat. Please, Doug, if you don't mind, change again. This is a cultural manifestation, in fact, a religious manifestation. It's the Holy Virgin is sailing around, and everybody is nearby the river, the side of the river, assisting to that manifestation and praying with the priest that is inside the boat. And please change again. We are able to change completely our streets. Look, this fantastic street is in Camp Mayor. It's a party that every 4 years we organize. It's called Festas do Povo, the people that belong to everybody. Everybody is taking part of this, make some paper flowers, and they dress the streets with paper flowers, and the result is like that. It's something special. And please, like, change again, and we share with you our gin experience, gin made with local products, with local tastes. This is completely different. We have wine tasting, but we also have gin tasting. So different experiences that you can provide to your clients. They can have activities during the day, but by the end of the day, they can taste a good gin or a good wine. And please change again, Doug. And this is our kind of landscape: a cork tree and nothing more. Our region is basically like that. Small town, small village, lots of fields, a fantastic landscape, and it's all. And please, Doug, if you don't mind. And thank you very much to assist to my presentation. It's a very short one, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'm completely at your disposal to give some answers that you may have.
Great.
To answer some questions that you have.
Okay.
And I asked Selena to come back also, because probably there are some questions that Selena will be able to answer better than me.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that presentation, both of you actually. Very informative. We do have some questions here, so let me just jump right into them. Antonio, does Live, Love, Ride work with travel agents? Do you know?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, they work.
Okay. And do you know the length and duration of the trips that they offer?
Oh, they have so many programs that they can also work in a tailor-made basis. You ask what you pretend to have, and they provide you. If you have a group, or if you are just a couple and you pretend to have something special, Live, Love, Ride organize it for you. If you can mix a castle, to sleep inside a castle, and after to cycle a little bit, okay, they prepare. If you pretend to do 100 miles a day, they organize it for you. If you pretend just 10 miles, okay, no problem. It's on demand, on request. They can do everything.
Custom made tours. Perfect.
Yes, custom made.
Okay, great. Another question here. Can you talk a little bit about any agritourism options involving olive oil, wine, gastronomy?
Yes, we have more than 400 agrotourism in Alentejo. We are really strong in terms of agrotourism, and we have some that are really, really good. And you have agrotourism about olive oil that are inside an olive mill, and you can try to see how it works. You make and you taste the olive oil that they produce there. You can stay on a property just that is focused all about wine. All the concept is the wine. The food is made with wine. You taste wine. The spa is with wine treatments, and you can choose. You have so many that you can choose. You can have a manor house with, you can have a castle in the middle of the forest, and they all offer some outdoor activities for the clients. That can be just a horse riding around the property, a cycle tour, a walking tour, fly on a balloon, or go in a special adventure with the locals. We have more than 400 opportunities of that.
Fantastic. Great. There's a question regarding masks. Are masks required outside right now?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Can the physically challenged be accommodated in your region?
Yes, we are full prepared for that. All the persons that any kind of situation that they have, we have accessibility for everybody. We are obliged by law to have all these conditions in all kind of lodgements, all kind of activities. Even if you pretend to walk along the coastline, if you need some support, they have a wheelchair, a special wheelchair for you. That you can go with your friends, they walk, and you will go in a special wheelchair that is carried on by 2 persons. We are full prepared for that.
Excellent.
Accessibility 100%.
Great. Can you talk about the weather a little bit? Does it rain much in the summer?
No rain at all. No, our problem is that we don't have rain.
It's the opposite. Sometimes
I wish we had that problem.
Yeah. I think it's Alentejo is a little bit. It's similar to California. It's very hot and dry during summertime. I mean, it's very mild all year round. The winters are super mild also, and sunny. But the summertime really is like California. No, it's hot and dry. It's lovely, but it is dry, yes, and it's warm.
Okay. Well, speaking of California, that leads into the next question. Somebody is asking, are wildfires a problem in your region?
No.
Okay.
No, because the cork tree forests don't burn.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, it's true, because the tree is protected by the cork.
Okay.
So the fire can reach the tree, but it's very easy to finish because the tree don't burn.
Great. Okay.
We don't have
It's
these
not,
type of problems.
yeah, it's not also the Alentejo. It's a very plain area. It's not a foresty area. So normally the areas where we do have wildfires are normally, in northern Portugal or central Portugal. Those are the most common areas, not so much in the Alentejo or the Algarve.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying that. A question regarding transportation. How easy is it to get there from Lisbon? And a follow-up to that is there rail service?
Yes, there are railway service for the main towns like Évora and Beja, and for example, from the main railway station in Lisbon to Évora is 1 hour and 15 minutes. You pay something around $20 for one way. And it's basically the same that you pay if you go by bus, and the same time you need to go by the highway to Évora or to Beja. I show to everybody a small map in the beginning. It showed how close the places are one from the others. So you can be in Beja or in Évora, the main towns, and from that point you can visit all the region.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Somebody's asking if you can provide names and contact information for any local companies that organize FITs and work with travel agents. And sure, we can follow up with you, and Tony will follow up with you. I'll give him that information, your contact information, and he can follow up directly. Great.
We can provide all that kind of information. We are full prepared for that.
Wonderful. Are US dollars accepted anywhere, or is it all the local currency, being the euro, required?
The euro.
Euro. Okay,
It's not easy to find a place that receives dollars.
that makes a lot of sense. Great. Are there any luxury rural hotels?
Yes, we have more than 15 in our region, but really 5-star hotels, luxury ones that are in the middle of the country forest, in the middle of the vineyard, in the middle of nowhere, or nearby the main towns. We have, for example, Convento Espinheiro, that is amazing, stunning, and we have Torre de Palma, that is imagine a property, a vineyard, all around a main house, and the main house is a hotel.
Oh.
And the old houses of the workers are also rooms from the hotel. We have for this kind of segment, we are very strong.
Excellent. Okay, looks like the final question was, will we receive a copy of this presentation? And yes, you will. It's being recorded. We will send you a copy. It's also available on our website, which is jacksfax.com, underneath the Travel Advisor Resources tab. Great. So I think that's going to wrap up the questions. Antonio, Selena, I will leave it to you for any last comments.
I leave to Selena. Selena is there in New York, can help you, is always there for whatever you want. Selena, please. It's up to you to close this session.
Absolutely. I mean, I actually don't know if I mentioned this before. I do apologize because we're working on several urgent matters today, so my head is not quite here where it should be. But I wanted to share with you all that we're also working to approve the CDC card in Portugal, and hopefully what that will mean very soon, hopefully by the end of this week, is that when traveling to Portugal, if you are fully vaccinated and if you have the CDC card, then you will only have to present the CDC card to board and travel to Portugal. So we really do hope that that is solved very, very soon. And then, just to tell you that we cannot wait to welcome you all back and your clients. We're making an effort and we know that you are too, to restart our operations and to restart traveling. So we just want to tell you that we're here to support you. Anything that you need, please do feel free to reach out to us, either to Antonio in Alentejo or ourselves here in New York and in the US. We'll share all this information with you, and you'll find our contact details there also. And I mean, as you saw, Alentejo is lovely. So let us know, if when if you'd like more information, if there's anything that we can help you put programs together, etc. We're here, and we would love to support you do that also.
Excellent. Thank you, Selena. Thank you, Antonio, for the presentation. Very much appreciate it. Very informative. And thank you to our travel advisor friends for joining us today. We appreciate your time. And that will wrap up today's presentation. We will see you all next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.